Welcome back to my channel where I amuse people. That is some of the truck drivers that have something to say concerning what Donald Trump is doing to them. So many of them are crying about this new development that every truck driver must make sure they have English proficiency in America before they can be able to drive, because for the security reason and for easing translation on the road, because so many of them cannot even speak English, and even when they are on the road they cannot read the map, they don't know what to do. And so many of them say they have been working like that for over 50 years, over 40 years. Why is it now that after voting for him he have come and turned against them? Listen to what some of them have to say. A lot of them are crying, a lot of them they are thinking of losing their job. Even their family too are crying with them. A lot of them have too many things to narrate about what the new development is doing to them.
So here's the deal with the executive orders. I don't think they're going to work. And I'm not trying to be a pessimist here, but I really don't think that they'll work. And this is why. So we need to first look at, well, how in the world did we even get to the point of this executive order having to take place? Because here's the deal. This executive order is basically just reinstating a pre-existing law that was sort of taken out of effect, right? I mean, for a very, very long time, it was against the law federally to not be able to read, write, or speak English and be a truck driver in the United States of America, right? And previous administrations began to backpedal on that. Why did they do that? Because these corporate oligarch elitists who basically collectively own the majority of wealth and power in this country, and the central bankers above them who work hand in hand with them, they want cheap third world labor in the trucking industry because it does two things that massively benefit them. Number one is it keeps American truck drivers, American workers, poor. Okay, this is a debt-based economy. That's very important to remember. In a debt-based economy, they need a handful of things to exist with us, the working class, in order for them to thrive and survive. They need us to be poor, they need us to stay in debt, and they cannot have us making enough money to start paying off debt and start actually owning assets. And I don't mean going and signing for a loan and possessing an asset that the bank owns. I mean actually physically paying off an asset and owning it. They can't have that. And if this executive order that Donald Trump has put into place actually begins to come to fruition, like people are saying it will, where he's given the DOT and the FMCSA 60 days to purge the industry of these guys. If there were hypothetically a deportation that took place where all of these guys were gone through with a fine-tooth comb, selected and kicked out of the country, which could be done very easily, by the way, that's exactly what would happen. You see, we would start seeing the small companies begin to thrive again. We would see the owner-operators thriving again. We would see the employees of the small companies thriving again. And we would see the big guys going belly up. And that's because there's no more cheap labor. There's no more third world labor in the trucking industry.
How long have you been driving trucks?
Since 1972.
What's the math? How many years? 41, right?
Yeah,
No, 51. 51 years. Oh my God. And how do you like it?
I love it.
What is your big dream?
My big dream is going to where my father was in World War II, in his footsteps, but it'll never happen. I watch every movie, not every movie, documentaries about World War II.
Thank you so much for your service and all these
Yes,
years
sir, thank
trucking.
you.
Really appreciate it.
God bless you, and thank you so much, sir.
God bless you too. Stay safe out there and
Oh,
hope
you stay safe
all
here
your
too.
dreams come true.
Be good, take good care of yourself and your
Always.
family.
Always taking care of my family, my wife and my kids.
That is number one priority with anybody. It should be anyway.
Yes, sir. What is your name?
Ronald White. Ron White, the comedian's great. No.
My name's Chris. It's a pleasure to meet you,
Chris,
Ron.
nice to meet you, sir.
All right,
Take care
thank
of
you.
yourself. Take care. Thank you again.
Where do you live?
Virginia, sir.
Virginia?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All the best to you.
All the best to you.
Thank you.
For the last 5 years, I've invested my whole life into finding out if, in fact, the early bird does get the worm. And now because of Trump, I'm out of a job. I voted myself into unemployment. Oh, God.
90% of the truck drivers voted for Trump. Now they go to the ports and the piers and look for a load to carry, and they find out that half the fucking ships are empty and the other half are being diverted by China to other places. The only fucking thing you'll be hauling is Trump the fuck out of the White House back to Mar-a-Lago.
The trucking business out in the United States right now, it's getting really bad thanks to Donald Trump's tariffs. I picked up a trucker today, Jacob. He is from Chicago, Illinois, here in South Florida. And he is 64 years old. He's been driving as a trucker 40 years. And he told me today that it is absolutely terrible out there. It's almost as bad as it was under part of the pandemic, and that it's certainly much worse than it was under the Biden years. And his route, normally he usually runs Chicago to Los Angeles and Chicago to Seattle, and he says there are just no jobs. There are no jobs because there is no cargo coming in on the West Coast as it once was from China, Japan, and other countries because of Donald Trump's tariffs, period. And he had brought had a job, I guess they went for Chicago to the Fort Lauderdale area and was picking up another job from here, from either Fort Lauderdale or Miami, going back up north, but that it was very difficult out there. So interested to hear from any of my other truckers. This is not talking about what's in Florida, so I don't want all my truckers to tell, oh, it's bad in Florida. These aren't Florida runs. These are California, LA to Chicago, Seattle to Chicago. That business is non-existent. And he said it's hard out there right now. So my friend Cuban Joe, pipe in. Anybody else is a trucker, pipe in. Let me know what you're seeing and what you're hearing. But I'm hearing it's extremely difficult. And again, those of you who don't know me, I'm Greg. I drive Uber now full-time. Actually, I've passed 40,700 rides in the last 4.5 years, full-time, a year part-time. I was a high school teacher many years here in South Florida, Marjorie Stoneman Douglas in Parkland. You know what happened in Parkland. And worked for a Senator, John P. East from North Carolina in Washington, D.C., and worked for a Governor, James Martin, in North Carolina. So for those of you that just think I'm some Uber driver that doesn't know anything, I know a whole lot about a whole lot of things, but that's the reality of the situation right now, at least what I'm hearing on the ground. It's bad if you're a trucker. Love to hear from my Democrats, my MAGAs, my crazies, my cuckoos, my burned out light bulbs. Anybody else want to pipe in, my truckers? And definitely, routes from Mexico into the U.S., I'm sure it's bad. Same thing, Canada coming in the United States is bad because Donald Trump has choked off the economy with these tariffs. Thank you, Donald Trump. You are really, really, really helping the economy by doing this. Look at all the companies that are coming back to the United States. I've not heard of one. Have you?
Breaking news. Trump's new truck driver rule. Is this common sense or a step too far? Wait, what? President Trump is about to require truck drivers to pass English literacy tests or face being banned from the road. Why? Safety, they say. But is it really about the road or just another move to target foreign-born workers? Trump's executive order will force drivers to speak English to avoid communication problems on the road. But some are asking, is this necessary? If drivers can't read signs, talk to officers, or communicate during emergencies, it could cost lives. But is this new rule really the best way to tackle this issue? The trucking industry's been hit hard by a rise in foreign-born drivers, so is this an attack on immigrants or just a common-sense safety measure? Trump says, this is a necessity to protect Americans. But many are questioning if it's more about politics than safety. What do you think? Is this a safety improvement or just a discriminatory policy? Comment below. Share this if you think this is either a common-sense move or a dangerous overstep.
Hello, my friends. How are you doing out there today? I hope you're doing well in the middle of Donald Trump's failed economic and trade policies. More and more American industries are beginning to get hit by the problems that Donald Trump is creating all by himself. So yesterday, we talked a little bit about Mack Trucks in Pennsylvania laying off quite a few employees, and they specifically cited tariffs as the reason they were doing that. And in the video, I had said this is going to be one of the signals, sort of marks the beginning of problems coming to the trucking industry in America, mainly because they're saying that their demand is down and the tariffs are killing them. And if demand is down, that means companies are not swapping out their trucks as often as they used to. Things like that are causing their demand to be down. And I said this signals the beginning of the downfall of the trucking industry. So we're going to talk about that today. For those of you that don't know, I am a truck driver. I'm sitting in my truck right now. I know this industry pretty well, and I was here the last time Donald Trump crashed it through denying COVID, which maybe we'll talk a little bit about in this video. I'll give you a little history lesson on how all that went down. But I want you to understand something. I am not a Donald Trump supporter. I've never voted for Donald Trump. I've never flown a MAGA flag anywhere in my life. As a matter of fact, I've always known that he offers absolutely nothing to working class Americans. And I want to point that out before somebody puts me in one of those fuck around and find out memes on the internet. I never voted for that son of a bitch in my life. I know I look like a dumb hick, but I don't always act like one. I don't always act like one, okay, my friend? So, yeah, don't turn me into a goddamn meme on the internet, all right? I've always been against this bastard. Anyways, we have got major problems coming down the line for trucking. I said in yesterday's video that we tend to lag behind the economy because a lot of things are shipped in on the shipping containers. That takes time, according to one of my viewers, around 20 days to make that trek. And then we move everything that's already come in, and that takes us, you know, a week to move it across the entire country. And that causes this huge lag before we really start to feel the effects of what is going on. And now we're starting to see it in the shipping, in the ports, all the products coming into America. And pretty soon here, that's going to affect trucking in a very, very negative way. And the vast majority of truck drivers, for some fucking reason, vote for Donald Trump overwhelmingly. And it's unfortunate that I'm probably going to get hit by this too, but I've always said since the beginning of this that unfortunately we're going to have to go through these bad times, because maybe in the future, if we survive this, people will be more responsible with their fucking votes. But I don't really know. But one of my viewers is also a truck driver, said he noticed that he works out of the ports, and said that he has noticed a significant slowdown over there, which I thought was interesting news. But what I thought was even more interesting was I was talking to another truck driver that didn't have his head all the way up Donald Trump's ass. And that was truly the most shocking part of the entire conversation. So shout out to that guy for getting his head on straight too. I don't know if he was ever supporting Trump or not, but apparently not now. So that's good news. Anyways, the ports are definitely starting to slow down, and there is some metrics you can track to see this. And one of those is called, what was it called? Hold on. I had to go look it up because I keep forgetting the term, but it's called blank sailing. And blank sailing means that there are
I don't know how any of you guys are going and going and going. I know you gotta be at the same level of mental health as me. Every day it's something new between the fucking news and the fucking stupid Biden and stupid Trump. And this country's fucked. Every day we're spending more and more money. None of us are getting ahead. The rich people are the ones that are fucking getting ahead. I'm tired of struggling. I've done everything I can. I'm trying to be a good man. I take care of my daughter. I take care of my wife. The best I can. I can't keep going. Every day it's something new. Then on top of that, as if you're not trying to spend money, you have to. Fucking everything's expensive. I own a painting company, I still can't fucking make it. I'm fucking trying, man. I can't look at my daughter and my wife and know I'm failing. I'm fucking Everybody wake up. It's time to stand up. It's time to be tired of this. It's our turn to fucking eat. I want to eat. I want my family to eat. I want you guys to eat. Stand up. Let's go. Stand up, man. Let's fucking eat. I'm tired. Let's help each other. I don't care what your political affiliation is. I don't care what fucking color you are. If you are not eating and you're struggling, eat with me. Let's struggle together then. Let's be a team.